listen. The main thing I want this podcast to be about, okay, is about us being friends, all right, and we fucking love guns.
Guys, you're gonna have to change that to a pilgrim soon.
Yeah, right. Hey, what's up, yo? Welcome to the 2A Brotherhood podcast.
Hello,
Dude, we got
hello.
special guest Walker Tactical is back, man. So excited.
Yes.
Dude, it was like what, March the last time you were on, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lovely podcast. One of the most watched too.
Oh yeah.
For coming
Oh
back.
yeah. Yeah, so the first episode, when you were on for the first time, I think it's our second top watched. It was like 200 and something. I don't know what it's
wow.
been. Yeah, and then yeah, man, and then the last one was one of the higher ones too. I think we were watching Railguns or some shit. I don't know
Yeah.
how the hell we ended up on Railguns.
Demolition Ranch guys doing railgun, shooting magnets.
Yeah.
But real quick, everybody, you can see that we're live on X. We're verified on X. Go follow us on X. Follow our Instagram. That keeps failing to go live on. Maybe it will help with more followers. Also, next year we are going to launch our website. So you guys look forward to that. And then we're also going to have merchandise that's going to be on the website.
Merch.
Yeah, merch. We're going to have shirts, hats, mugs, stickers, dildos.
I mean,
Did you say double-sided myrtle aid?
But we have Walker Tactical on here. Walker, introduce yourself to the people that might not have been here the last two times.
Okay. Well, hi everybody. My name is Lewis Walker. I'm the owner of Walker Tactical. We're based out of South Jersey. I'm a firearms instruction outfit. We do all kinds of. We do everything from brand new shooter to, tactical training, concealed carry in New Jersey. So if you're ever interested in anything in my area, please look me up, walkertactical.com. Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. It has been a minute. I haven't seen you guys in a minute.
Yeah, man.
Dimitri, you're looking thin, dude. You're looking svelte. You're looking great.
No, it's because I can't work out because I can't find fucking time.
Yeah, I hear that.
I can't fucking find time, man.
I'll go ahead and post your website, your TikTok, and all that to the chat and to the description in case anybody else wants
Great.
to see.
Oh, and if anybody's interested in after you guys finish watching the podcast, if you guys want, you can visit my website. On my website, I also have a merch store. Hats, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, athletic wear, all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. We it's just walkertactical.com, right?
Yep, walkertactical.com. That's me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Everyone, throw him your money.
Well, so you were just talking about what did you have, a 40 S&W plus P? Is that what you said? But it was a print on the box.
Brown.
Yeah, for anybody who's listening, if you're running plus P, which is totally cool. I mean, whatever you guys want to run is cool. Just make sure you read the manufacturer. Make sure the manufacturer specs that you can run plus P in those barrels, because plus P is spicy.
Yeah. You don't want a tiny hand grenade,
No. I think that guy from Kentucky Ballistics will tell you spicy rounds are not any fun.
Man, when that 50 cal messed him up, man.
Yeah.
Almost killed him.
Did he have a 50 cal blow up on him?
Yeah. He was shooting a 50 BMG,
Mm-hmm.
and it was I don't know where he got the round from, but it was overpressurized, and when he fired it, it blew up next to his head. And it actually, like, he had shrapnel all over him. He actually he made merchandise afterwards, but he had to stick his own thumb in his neck to keep himself from bleeding out.
Yeah.
Oh
And
shit.
and so he had merch made up that it said just stick a thumb in it. Yeah.
Oh, that's where that's from then.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said thank God his father was actually filming with him,
Mm.
because if he was filming by himself, he probably would have been,
He
fucked.
would have been a
So-
goner. Yeah,
Yeah.
God is good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And
right.
great instinct to just stick a thumb in it though. That's
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. That was I would not have been that fast on my feet. I don't think.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, I might now think like I would think about this incident, but yeah, just jamming a thumb in your own neck is that's
I think
wild.
the thumb in there had to hurt too, and it was probably shrapnel in there too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Mhm.
That was the one where he shot and the ricochet came back, right? Is that?
No,
No,
I
no,
think it when he fired, it actually blew the gun apart.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, what
Yeah,
was
the
this?
only one that I've ever seen was a AR, and this kid was running blackout out of it, and it wasn't rated for that. And it was just like pink. I mean, I thought it would like blow up. No, this thing was like it fell apart. It was crazy. It was like
That's
ping,
crazy.
and it was just like
In all fairness, that's kind of what AKs are designed to do, right? So if there's so much tolerance and gap in those things. You
Yeah.
could, I mean, that's why they're so popular in the East, more in the European. So you can run them with snow in them, you can run them with sand in them, you can run them with whatever.
no.
I just watched a video where where these guys were testing like an M16, I think, and an SKS or something, and the M16 was able to survive the mud test. Let me pull it up so you guys can see it. But
Oh,
Really?
Was that the
if
one?
you get a chance, look up Grantham doing the ice test with the pistols. That is probably my hands down my favorite video on the internet.
Pull it up,
He
Josh.
pours water into these things and freezes them. Only one, I think it was two firearms actually functioned. The other ones were just totally frozen solid. Couldn't move triggers, couldn't move anything. The one that was the most surprising was the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. That thing fired, not even hesitated. Bang, 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 cycled. Everything was fine.
Wow.
They couldn't even pull the trigger on a Glock.
The
Really?
Glock was stuck.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he was saying. Anything with those kinds of triggers.
Oh.
Huh?
Did we lose him?
It was the AKM, by the way.
Walker dropped out.
It's okay.
There
We're
he
gonna.
goes.
I'll probably.
There we go.
Yeah, we got him back.
Yeah, anything with those blade safeties on the triggers wouldn't function. Oh, is that him? Yeah, it's him.
So
That's the guy that stuck the.
AK.
No, that's Grantham. He did that frozen pistol video.
Let's find out.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, I have it pulled up in the
Nope.
in another
Okay.
tab. I'll play it right after this. But yeah, they're just trying to cycle the bolt.
I think Forgotten Weapons did this too on Mud Test.
But it's not going fully forward to the battery there. This wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Wasn't
Come
supposed to happen.
Fail. This is going to induce a malfunction.
He's like, dude, this is 100% gonna be a malfunction, and then it just fires.
Way.
Yeah. So the exact.
And you know what? He's absolutely right. That probably should have failed.
Yeah.
And the reason why it should have failed is because it's got a bolt. It's got a normal style bolt like an AR. The ARs don't like that much grime. That's why they have dust covers. Versus like an AK, you could literally run that gun without the whole top of the gun on it if you wanted to. It's really wild.
Yeah, that's very surprising that the M4 was shooting. Was that an M4 or a 16?
It was an AR-15.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so there you go. Yeah, that AR, that bull carrier group is does not like dust, mud, water.
Or carbon.
Yeah,
anything besides lubrication.
exactly. Exactly.
Lubrication is
Anything
the
but
key.
FP10. Forget about it.
All right, so he's going through the setup. I think he's doing some test firing, right?
Dimitri,
yeah.
does that water taste different?
You'll
Mhm.
see. It's funny. When he does that. It's pretty far down the video, but when he shoots that, his facial reaction is so good. It's been memed all over the place.
Mhm.
So now they're frozen, and now he's about to shoot him.
He's
Yeah,
like-
he's about to shoot him, and like I said, the Glock fails. Everything pretty much. The staccato fails. I can't remember. I forget I think he has a Desert Eagle in there too. I don't remember. But yeah, all these guns have major failure issues. Yeah, dead trigger, the Beretta, they all fail.
One more time.
Ooh,
Okay.
One more. Come on, give me another go.
one more.
Nope. So
Yeah, firing pin's probably
be
frozen.
fully
in that one.
frozen. Browning high power. Okay. Okay. Safety is frozen in the off position,
How's the audio? You guys
which
can
is
hear
helpful because it is
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
we
hear
can
you.
hear
super frozen. Okay. Okay.
He can't even pull the
that
trigger.
Released. Hammer didn't
Yeah,
drop.
so he
I'm not
pulls
gonna
the
play that
trigger
game.
and nothing
I'm gonna go ahead and
happens. He
render this
felt
guy
the
safe
trigger
as well.
move probably, but the hammer didn't fall forward, so he saved it off.
Bro, you can see how cold it is.
That's
out
the
there.
SIG, I think.
It's probably like 0 degrees where he is.
Oh yeah,
Do
it was so cold out there
Yo!
where he was.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he was saying it was so cold that they all they did was wet them. They didn't put them in like a freezer or anything like that. They just left them on the table overnight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you remember where he was off the top of your head?
I don't remember where he was. I want to say he was. I don't know if it was Vermont. It was somewhere in the States. He was still definitely stateside. I just can't remember. I just don't remember exactly where he was.
Yeah,
do it.
Vermont gets cold.
Yeah,
Yo.
he's probably in some ski resort somewhere.
Yeah.
Our hammer fire gun?
Yo, the M18. Everyone talked mad shit on it. They're like, this gun couldn't have passed trials. Well, you know what?
Which one was the meme face?
Oh no, he has to get to the. It's the Smith and Wesson.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Smith
Steyr.
and Wesson MP 2.0.
Did you say this one was a Steyr?
He shoots a gun and he's like he just looks at the camera. He's just totally shocked.
No, that guy is.
Oh
I don't
man.
The trigger pull?
No. Yeah.
Try?
I'm a monster.
Yeah,
I'm a
not sure what
monster.
that. It almost looks like a canic. It's hard to say.
Yeah, you're good. Good.
There he goes.
Try it one more time.
Warm water, I think.
They pour warm water in this.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know if that's a Glock or whatever.
So, it really
Says
just needed
Steyr
to.
L9
That trigger
A2.
mechanism was just frozen
MF.
solid,
I got
dude.
a question though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Smith and Wesson
freezing, but
MP
the Camelback
2.0.
isn't.
I remember that.
DZ.
It's because of their trigger design. So the trigger design actually has a hinge in the trigger itself. So instead of having that blade safety style, it has like a hinge safety style. So the way the trigger actually sits, right? So if this is your trigger here, there's a hinge almost like a knuckle, and when you pull that, and that's when you break that hinge, that's when the trigger engages. And because of that style, it's crazy. It's crazy the way they have that set up. But yeah, he fires it, he picks it up, bang, and then he stares it's like a deer in the headlights looking at the camera. He can't believe that it went off.
But they changed that in the newer ones to a Glock style, right?
I don't know. No, the I think the 2.0 is the newer one.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I think the 1.0s were the Glock style with that blade, and I think the 2.0s are the hinge.
Mm.
I believe. I'll tell you what I like.
Check.
If you guys ever get a chance to look them up, they're the Smith & Wesson, the 10 millimeters, the Performance Center 10 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is crazy. That's like a bear gun. That's like when you go hiking, you need to defend yourself against a cougar or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're wild.
I thought the metal.
Look at that. See that
cool
comp on the
too.
front of it? It's integrated.
Mm-hmm.
They all look like that. It's that thing is a badass gun.
All right. Let's go back to the video.
I want to see this man's face.
Yeah.
So we decocked it before we started. So the question is,
Well, that's not it.
can the hammer go back?
Say that if it's
hammer went back.
Decocked it. Yeah.
Here we go.
M&P 2.0 striker fire.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the Staccato. I think that's
So
the one. That one
unfortunately,
failed miserably.
That magazine release isn't working. Question is, slide release?
Glock 17.
Surgicon RMR is pretty incredible. All right, let's try this guy. I don't think it's going to work, man. Yeah.
That's most replayed. I assume this is it.
Right.
No.
Is that it?
M&P.
I think that's an M&P. Yep.
Yep, that's it.
Right.
I'm telling you, that segment has been memed so hard.
Okay, it has a hinge trigger.
He's doing it in slow mo. You can see like the twinkle in his eye, dude.
Yep. He is just utter disbelief. He's like, I don't think this is gonna work at all. Bang, goes right off. And it cycles. He runs through the whole mag. He doesn't know what to do with himself.
Dude, so were you explaining? It was like the mechanics of the trigger make this.
If you're able to pull up a Google image of that trigger and zoom in on it, I can explain it better. It'll give almost like a diagram.
That was. All right. M&P 2.0. The trigger.
Hinge trigger.
It trigger.
Yeah, I think they all have the same style. Yeah, no, that's a blade, so that's not it. That's the that's an aftermarket. That looks like a Timony.
Go up to the top, Josh.
Yeah.
I think that's the original trigger for him. That one. Yeah.
That's it. Yep. Can you zoom in on that picture?
And that's why I said I think they changed the new one to a Glock style.
There you go. Yeah, you see on the
the bottom of it is basically like the blade.
Yeah,
on the
there's
top.
so yeah, the way it works. Wait, it's different.
Isn't that what T has?
Yeah.
Oh wait, if you're gonna pull out something, I think I should pause YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, just show you mine. design, but and now I don't know how often everybody's shooting in a Tundra, but
You can
it's
always
good to
throw it
know.
on the ground and pee on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Not on a two-way range. I don't think you're gonna have time to whip it out and de-ice your clock.
Man, that was a good one, man. I had
So
found another.
does it feel better? Like, so you know how the Glock
So
has
I
that,
am a
that big give?
I'm a trigger snob. I don't know if I own a pistol with the original trigger in it.
To me,
I think
it
you
felt-
said that last time you
felt
were on.
flimsy, but
Yeah.
I have
So
one like
and like I said, we said this last time. I'm not sponsored by Timony. But Timony, if you want to sponsor me, I'm with it. But yeah, no, I do not. I'm not big on stock triggers, especially stock Glock triggers. I find them very squishy. There's not a lot of solid break in them. I like to be able to feel the same crisp snap every time. And again, because it's I like competitive shooting. Like that's my whole background. So that's what I like. But yeah, I'm not super fond of the feel of that MN2 trigger, MN 2.0, because if you ride a little high on that trigger, you're not gonna disengage it. You're not gonna be able to move that safety. You actually have to move down out of the middle and almost onto the lower part of the trigger in order to engage that trigger. Yeah.
So I guess that's the bad
so,
part about it.
So for feel wise, it's kind of strange because it's way different. And of course, the more you train with anything, the better you'll be with that firearm, with that trigger, with that ammo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think it would just all take time.
But so that's the one thing I don't like about the Glock is how squishy it is. And I need to get the new triggers on
that
all my
Glock
shit.
squish is what everybody. And so what is it? A 43X?
Yeah, I have a 43X and a 17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
This is Shadow Systems DR 920. This is a Glock 17, basically.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Glock 17 trigger. This is Timony. That trigger out. That is a 3-pound, very crisp competition trigger. I think they run for like maybe $150, something like that. Black Friday's coming up, so you never know. But yeah, I would go right on Timony.com and order one, and either drop it in yourself or have somebody else drop it in. That trigger is life changing. It changes the whole way you shoot. Do you run optics on your Glock?
Not yet. I can't afford it.
Yeah, no, I understand. I get it, 100%.
The kids are expensive, man.
Yeah, they're not cheap. But I do recommend, even if you go, like Holosun's a good brand. I think that their pricing is pretty middle of the road. But my brother, I'll tell you what, for bullseye shooting, my brother picked up a True Glow optic, and it's nothing flashy. I think it ran him like $150, something like that. It wasn't anything crazy expensive. It's got like a 3 MOA. The dot is super fine, and my brother took the last time we competed. My brother took first place with that optic. It's really, really solid. But it'll get you until you want to, if you want to upgrade to another optic or whatever. it'll get you at least used to shooting with that optic. So, especially with your concealed carry, I highly recommend optics, but I do not recommend single point dot optics with a carry gun. If you want a bullseye shoot or whatever, then a single dot optic is fine. If you get either the Holosun that has that big circle with the dot in the middle, or like the 407K or whatever it is that has a crosshair, I highly, highly recommend being able to, when you pull up, because again, in an emergency situation, defensive situation, when you press out and you want to look for that dot in the middle, you don't want to have to search. You want to see the corner of your crosshair or the edge of that circle, and then adjust if you have to, because it's not pulling up and practicing at the range where your muscle memory is going to put you there all the time. It'll put you close, but when your heart's racing, your adrenaline's pumping, it's a totally different scenario. So that's when I recommend having something, because, and again, you're not usually shooting at 15, 25, 30 yards. It's going to happen right in front of you. So you want to be able to pull up, find it quick, and go to work. That's my opinion.
Pull up quick and go to work.
Pull up quick and go to work. That's going to be a new merch shirt.
Yeah. Walker Tactical. Pull up and go to work.
Pull up and go to work. That's right.
Hey, that's a good shirt right there.
Yeah, it is.
Write it down.
Hey, write it down and send it over to your.
I'm gonna do a two-way brotherhood collab. I'm gonna make a merch shirt. Yeah.
You remember what it was, right? Was it pull up quick and
pull up? I say pull up quick and go to work.
Yeah, write that shit down.
I'm putting in my notes right now. That's good. That's good.
It would have been a nice big crosshair in the middle.
Yeah. So I like every time I've only shot a handgun, I think twice with a red dot, and both times I had that very fine dot in it. And like for my eyes, like I have an EOTech on my AR, and because I'm left eye dominant, but I shoot right-handed, I have to.
Yep.
It kind of like makes it really blurry. Would that be the same?
So what I recommend when you're left eye dominant and you're right-handed, when you press out and hold, you're gonna do a cant.
Okay.
So when you cant that firearm, you'll put that optic over your other eye. I think I'm doing it backwards on my camera, but yeah. So when you hold up, right? So when I hold up, it's over my right eye. So when you can't, yeah, there you go. So when you can't, it'll come up on that left eye, and you'll be able to see that dot. Now, when you shoot two eyes or one eye.
So right now, I'll blink my left eye so my right eye could take over and look at the sights, and then I open it again.
Yep. So I do the same
go
thing.
like
I do the exact same thing, especially when I'm shooting irons. With optics, you don't even need to do that. You just pull up, and you'll be able to see them both. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, when I talk about shooting fast, pulling up and shooting fast, you will shoot. I would say after like, if you went to the range every day for 2 weeks, from where you started with your irons to where you finish with an optic, you will shoot probably, I bet you, 3 or 4 times faster. Be able to pull up, find it, and go. Like that pull up and being on target your muscle memory, obviously, that's everything, right? I'm a firm believer in dry firing, finding that light switch, pull up practice, you know what I mean? That muscle memory will get you in that position so that every time you land with your firearm, you're in a good spot. But target acquisition with a red dot is so much faster because you don't have to line anything up. You don't have to line up a front and a rear sight. You just find that light, it's on the target, bang, target's dead. I'm a firm believer in optics. I mean, if you want to shoot gun Amish for fun, that's cool.
Gun
That's what it is. You're just shooting without any enhancements or anything like that. It's but
Dude,
I'm
Iron
firm
You got
sight.
believer.
two shirts. You got
Yes,
two
I was
shirts
about to
today, dude.
Yeah, gun Amish.
Yeah, right there. Shit down, dude. Two shirts. Nobody could copy that. That is copywritten by
Yeah,
two
that's right.
Unlimited
Trademark.
with all purpose
Trademark
going to Walker Tactical.
Yeah, man, that was good.
I had an idea for a T-shirt. It was like my right to bear arms, and it was like arrow to the right and then bare arms. Right there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. And then everyone's like hoard
it's
that T-shirt
everywhere
up.
now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was driving behind like some weird like a Kia Sportage. It was like something like a car that I never see on the road. And on the back, it was an arrow, the number 2, and then a bear's arms. And I was like, that's awesome. That's such a cool sticker to throw on there.
Did you that guy we had on about a month and a half ago, Cocked Firearms? Are you familiar with him?
I don't know him. Where's he based out of?
He's based out of Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's based out of Florida.
Curious if you knew any other of the guys we had on.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I know. There's a couple of guys that
Eric and
that
Blake,
I've
right?
worked with here in New Jersey, but I don't know a whole lot outside of New Jersey, except for you guys. I mean, you guys are. Yeah.
Dude, so in Jersey, since it's gonna be winter, do you have an indoor shooting range that could do like movement and stuff like that, or?
So there's a range that I shoot at that I was doing competition at that they do nighttime shooting. So it's almost like kind of like galactic bowling where they have like black lights and they have like painted steel targets. But they have just started doing some indoor move and shoot stuff, which is pretty cool. But so the range that I use is a place called Jersey Double Outfitters. They're located in Manchester Township. I kind of like being outside. If it's snowing, if it's rain. So what's today? Friday. So Thursday night, last night, it was raining. First time we've had rain in forever. And we were like 2 months without rain in New Jersey. So so last night it was kind of raining pretty much all day. And so I got in touch. So this couple actually came out for a couples lesson. I said, hey, listen, I know it's raining. I know it's outside. Let me know what you guys want to do. They're like, is there a dry place that we can go to if like it's really raining hard? I was like, yeah, we can. There's like a shelter at this range. They're like, all right, well, perfect. We're coming out anyway. I was like, all right. They were like in their 70s. I'm telling you, this couple was so great, but it made me kind of think like, there are going to be times where I may need to defend myself in the rain. There will be times I need to defend myself in the snow. Like, you should practice the way that you expect to use that firearm. So in all kinds of weather conditions, I mean, put that, put all your shit to the test. I mean, if you know how it feels when your hands are wet. You know what I mean? Things like that. When it's cold out and it's bitter. Figure out if that firearm is going to feel. If you're going to feel a sting when you shoot it, because you never know.
Your fingers all cold and shit, not
That's
working
what I mean.
properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I recommend training in the elements. It's probably not only good for you. It'll show you how the gun's going to operate. It's what it's going to feel like. You'll have a better understanding of what you got and how it works.
Just put it in every single scenario, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
and yourself too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, put yourself through the paces. When it's cold outside, and of course that's why everybody gets sick all the time, right? In the wintertime. So everybody thinks you get sick from the cold. It's huge. Anybody who's listening, that's a lie. All right.
To all the foreigners out there, your mother lied to you.
You heard it.
To everybody that ever thinks that you just get sick from you get the flu from being outside in the cold, that's a lie. So what happens is when you are inside of a building, the heat is cranked up. When you're exposed to all that heat for such a long period of time, all the mucous membrane, all the oils in your face dry out. You get these cracks, and that's where germs come in. And that's why in most commercial buildings, it's required that you have fresh air makeup for air conditioning, because you get building office sickness. It's like that's like a real thing. So when that happens, right? So we were talking about training outside.
Getting cold
being
and
out in the cold. So that's you're not gonna catch your death just being outside because it's cold. I would recommend going outside and training in the cold.
Does that mean? Is it also a myth if you go outside with wet hair, you get a cold?
So you can drop your body temp down, right? Yeah. You can get hypothermia. That's a possibility. Here's an interesting thing.
Is that
What's that?
But getting sick though from wet hair,
sick from wet hair in the cold is a myth. That's it. So yeah, you're not gonna get a flu or a cold. You get colds and flu from germs. That's how that works.
Who started these rumors?
Yeah,
these fairy tales.
I mean, you'll be cold if you go outside with wet hair. That'll happen. Yeah, I don't know if you'll get a brain freeze off it, but
yeah,
that was back in the day before, like, we knew about viruses and germs, and it's like, hey, it's cold outside, and these people are getting sick, so the cold makes you sick.
Yeah,
that's where it stems from the old country.
That's right.
Dude, when I was
in Albania.
Yeah, like, dude, to this day, if I go out with, well, not anymore, but if I ever took a shower,
you should never ever be sick
from wet hair.
And from wet hair, you'll never be sick from wet hair.
I guess the hair, whatever, that thing you call a beard,
a wet beard.
Yeah, wet beard.
Yeah, right.
Dude, when I was in New York and it was like -40, -50. The water in my eyes, like on the surface, was freezing. So like it's like when you wake up with like crust on your eyes and it's like hard to open. That's how it was when you walked outside. It was the strangest thing.
I will say this: if you have like an illness, I definitely recommend like taking care of it. So I just recently learned George Washington died from a sore throat. He woke up one day. He went out for a ride on his property. This is in the 1800s, and he came back. He wasn't feeling right. He closed his eyes, went to sleep, woke up, sore throat, worse. Over the course of like 24 hours, it just got more and more, hard to do anything. But back then they were really into bloodletting. So he did some bloodletting. And then he had a doctor come. He did some bloodletting. Then later on they did a little more bloodletting. Then he had his lawyer come. He did some bloodletting. The dude was down 4 pints when he did his will. You know what I mean? Like he was running out. But it was all stemmed from a sore throat.
Oh man.
Yeah, wild man. Like it's like you go so like that far back, and it's like we have to get rid of the infection by
bleeding them out,
bleeding you out. And now it's the exact opposite.
Like like why didn't they say, hey, maybe we should calm down?
He doesn't need that much blood. Come on.
Yeah, that dude's like he's getting drained like a grape being made to wine. Like it was rough. And of course, I'm sure that whatever they were letting out was probably like the size of a garden hose. I mean, it was probably just pouring out of them.
It wasn't a little IV needle.
Yeah, no.
Well, apparently he like
Yeah.
people say he had wooden teeth, except they weren't really wooden. There was like slave teeth and shit.
I heard
Donkey teeth.
Donkey teeth too.
Donkey and horse teeth on top, slave teeth on the bottom, and they were held in with lead.
that was the donkey. Estate.
Yeah.
That's funny.
There's a comedian, Shane Gillis. He talks about that in his stand up. I mean, funny, ridiculously funny.
Yeah, that dude is hilarious. They try to cancel him because he was too vulgar and not politically correct, but apparently he made it through.
Yeah, he definitely made it through. You know what though? It's kind of, you know how they always say like old things from the past come back into fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So that we went through this whole period of being woke, right? Every cancel culture was super high. Everything that you had ever said was now under scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
And now it feels like you're starting to come back around where we're not quite there, but like we're going back to like a Blazing Saddles era
Mm-hmm.
where like things are not so sensitive. We're going back to being desensitized, where you could take a joke and things are. And I'm hoping that that's the case because
there we go.
It's true, and even in
since Trump got in, it changed.
and he's not even in. That's the crazy.
I know,
part.
right?
And so
you know what though, and I think that's it. I think that I really noticed the shift when they were campaigning the last 10 months or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you really started to see like, okay, like you can see the chat boards, you can see Facebook, Instagram, you can see Twitter, you can see where the American mindset is. I'm sure you've heard that the soft men create hard times thing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So this current, it's still current administration has made it so hard for Americans to live that we stopped worrying about everybody's feelings all the time. I think that's really what ended up happening. Because the economy was down, gas prices were up, grocery prices were up. It was just so much harder to live that all of that woke, my feelings topple your rights kind of went away in a sense.
Well, every year since they got in, right? It was like kicking the dick, and then it just got harder and harder and harder. You know what I mean? It was just like, good Lord, man. It's like your paycheck stays the same. You might get like a little raise, but inflation was just like,
wiped it out immediately.
Yeah.
Your taxes, the taxation in this country is absolutely out of control, right? So, I mean, there's so like think about it, right? You're all that money that has gone to this Israeli war, the Ukrainian war, that was started by this administration, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
All of your tax money has been going all over the place. They're taking more. They're printing money, so it's making the money that you get to keep less. They just made it so hard for anyone to be able to live that's not in the upper crust of our society.
Mm-hmm.
Like what did you expect to happen? You expected certain people's feelings to trump our right to live,
right?
I think they kind of put all their eggs in the wrong basket.
They did. Destroyed the middle class, man.
Well, that's what they're looking for, right? So socialism is kind of what the far left is into. They really want to separate the rich from the poor, and then anybody who is poor, you just live off the government, whatever little breadcrumbs they throw your way, right? And that's what happens. They tax it and tax it and tax it to death, and then you don't have enough to be able to survive, so you have to go into government assistance. They push you into poverty only to receive government assistance, and that's how they want you to live. That's just not the way our country works.
That's not America.
It's not America.
Yeah, that's the best thing about America. And I was just talking to my dad. It was yesterday, and we got on the whole schmeal. And like, my dad's pretty conservative, but he still has the communist mindset that it was punched in his head throughout his entire life. And he was like, it's just like, just don't say anything. And I was like, no, Dad, that's not how it works. No. It's like you should have the right to say whatever you want about anybody, or the president, anybody that's in office. And he was like, well, this lady came back from China. I was like, where I have a social credit score. And he's like, yeah, I know, but like she said, you could do whatever you want. I was like, no, that's not true. You have to do what they tell you to do, or they shut off your money. So now you can't drive, you can't buy groceries, and of course you're going to conform.
Yep. Another perfect example of that. I mean, look at Canada.
Yeah.
You want to talk about freedom? Those truckers, when they were protesting out there, they shut off their bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
They locked them out of their own bank accounts. They held them from their own money. They had a GoFundMe, blocked them from that too.
They were arresting people that were bringing gas and food to them.
It's crazy,
right?
It's insanity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So another one, Australia. Right? Australia is free.
Yeah.
Not during COVID, it wasn't. They had little COVID camps set up. They had tanks rolling up and down streets, making sure people. They had apps that you had to take a picture of yourself inside your home every hour.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Absolutely. You had to verify to the government that you were where you were supposed to be.
Jeez.
Yep.
Or else.
And it's crazy because
freedom is a true luxury. That's why you don't. How bad is Australia's immigration? Illegal immigration. No. How about China? How about any of those other free countries? They got a lot of border issues. Yeah, no, just here.
Well, so people leave North Korea and go to China, but then they get the fuck out of China too.
Well, they get when they get caught in China, they drop them back off.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happens. They'll defect. They'll cross illegally, and then they get captured. When they get captured, they get brought to the North Korean government, and then they get executed.
Mm.
The Chinese. So the Chinese, like, they take them back to North Korea? They have like a
they have border patrol.
Dude.
Yeah. And when you get dropped back off in North Korea, you're toast. That's the end of that.
Yeah, there was a lady on Joe Rogan a couple years ago, and and she said that he's shot people with RPGs, like just to execute them in front of the whole town. They would just tie him up against something, and someone would shoot him with an RPG. Dude, holy shit!
It's ludicrous, right? That's crazy thought process. But I don't know if you saw, but he sent, I think it was like 50,000 troops to Russia to go fight Ukrainians.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I just saw Putin put out a new doctrine that he will use nuclear strikes. So it used to be that you won't use nuclear weapons against a country that doesn't have nuclear weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But now he amended it so that he said Russia will use nuclear missiles on a country that is aided by a nuclear having country, which the U.S. nuclear having aids Ukraine, which then right after that, I think it was earlier this week. I think Monday night, he sent a missile that is nuclear capable. I think it was just a test, just to see if it would, make sure it fired off on all cylinders. It was a huge explosion. I saw videos of it on TikTok, and it's wild. But he's gearing up. I don't know what Biden was thinking. He let Ukraine just run rampant with our
money,
our military stuff. I mean, he exacerbated the war, and he's, what is he leaving in 2 months? Yeah,
To leave Trump with a mess.
He's gonna leave him with World War III is what he's gonna leave. Because again,
it's the big.
every time that they do something to aid Ukraine, aid Taiwan, all this other nonsense, they create more and more enemies. So you're pushing up against China, you're pushing up against Russia, you're pushing North Korea and Russia together, you're pushing Russia and China together. We're going back to allies and axis, which is like World War II.
Oh, yeah.
Except China has like a never-ending soldier supply.
Big time.
Never ending, dude.
You're never ending.
And that's with two kids allowed.
It's only they're like the Hydra. You kill one, they just produce 3 more. So it's it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So what I think Putin did with that missile strike, it was just to let them know, like, hey, look what we could do. Like, that could have been a nuclear bomb to hit you, and I'm just letting you know this is how easy it is.
They could send a hydrogen bomb in the center of Ukraine and pretty much wipe out Ukraine. Like the radius, the miles and miles stretch that will. So I was listening to some of the stuff that they do now. So you know how before you'd have like nuclear fallout, and so you wouldn't be able to inhabit that area for years and years because you have so much nuclear waste that's still there. They don't do that anymore. So instead of using nuclear material, they use hydrogen. So hydrogen bombs create a huge, but they don't have that nuclear fallout that afterwards, right? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they also explode in higher up in the air. They're not like the barometric pressure triggered like the ones
big boy and little boy.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, go ahead.
So they're a little different, right? But what I'm getting at is Russia could send a hydrogen bomb, commit scorched earth, right? Wipe out any form of Ukraine at all, and then re-inhabit it immediately. And I mean, I don't really feel like the goal was to retake Soviet Russia. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that was the game plan. From what I understand, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden had talked to Vladimir Zelensky during it was like a green energy summit that they had about joining NATO. And Putin was like, no way. He can't join NATO. You're not putting a military base on my border and having missiles pointed at me every day of the week. And that's what kind of kicked this whole thing off. Yep. So, and I think this goes back to the Obama administration. I think Obama was trying to do the same thing. That's when Obama was in office. That's when Russia took over Crimea. And that's basically the same thing. So now that Trump is going into office, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if his influence will be enough to smooth everything over based off of what Joe Biden has done in this past week.
Yeah, but that's exactly why Putin invaded. Is he was telling them, he was telling the Ukrainian government, like, do not join NATO. Like, you're not. This isn't happening. I will invade you. And they're like, okay, we won't. And then there was talk again and rumors, and then he warned them again, hey, don't do this. And a lot of people are like, well, why is that a bad thing? It's like, okay, well, what about if Russia decided to take over Cuba and just have nuclear missiles just pointed right at us? We're not going to be cool with that.
We had a whole Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, exactly.
Cuba, we had problems with Cuba.
Yeah.
Like that was the Cuban Missile Crisis, and Cuba didn't invade.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. We would be making partners with Ukraine, and then putting a military base literally right on the border.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I'm not saying I'm some Putin sympathizer. I mean, he's killing. I mean, he's killing killing innocent people with these missile strikes. It's totally ridiculous. He's not targeting military bases. He's not He's hitting apartment buildings. He's hitting homes. He's killing women, children, men. He's killing all kinds of innocent civilians. So I'm no Putin sympathizer. However, I do understand why he decided to declare war with Ukraine and begin to invade. Because if it's part of Russia, there's no way it could be part of NATO.
Yeah. Yep.
So I understand. It makes sense.
Yeah, strategically, like as a leader of a country, it does make sense. That's as far as I go, because I've seen a bunch of stuff, but we're on YouTube, so
yeah.
Is Albania part of NATO?
Well, we can speculate.
Yeah, Albania's
so in 45, when the war ended, we had NATO. NATO was like Poland, England. It was right in that little cusp of Europe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the deal was that they made with Soviet Union when they were together. The Soviet Union said, "Listen, we'll disband. We'll make these independent countries, but you cannot move further eastward toward Mother Russia with your NATO group." Mm-hmm. And every year since 45, they just been like Pac-Man, just taking the next country and the next country and the next country. We're so far over. Germany is part of NATO.
Mm.
Germany, like the guys who struck up the band for World War II.
Yeah,
Germany is part of NATO. So that's what I mean. It's crazy that we've moved that far over. Now they want to be literally on Russia's border, and they were like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing that."
How long you think before North Korea joins NATO?
Aren't they already? No, I can't imagine that.
I know.
I like Putin, Kim Jong Un, Xi Jinping. They're like the Legion of Doom. Like, there's no way that's gonna happen. So like Venezuela, Venezuela is gonna. They're part of that. Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan. I just saw that they lowered the age of consent in Afghanistan
to 9 years old, right?
9, yeah.
Jeez.
My goodness.
I mean,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't that because it was
it before?
In the Quran?
What was it before? 9.5.
I shouldn't say.
No, so like they're going back to what it says in the Quran, basically, right? And back in the day, all right, it wasn't just Muslim people that were marrying at 9 years old. It was basically everybody, because your life expectancy was like 28 years old.
Makes
sense.
You
know what I'm saying?
But they follow the teaching of Muhammad, and Muhammad had a 10-year-old wife when he was, I think, in his 50s.
Yeah,
that's kind of wild.
So
Also,
But
I would
also
also
the
like to
church
point
back
out-
in the day, like the Christian church
R.
back in
Kelly
the
would have
day,
loved
did
it back then.
there was no Christian church.
huh?
So I would like to point out that when back in that time, they basically would be like, as soon as you as the female starts menstruating, it's like,
Mhm.
okay, well, you're now you're an adult. Or like
Mhm.
like in Jewish culture too, 13 years old, right? They have a bar mitzvah,
Mhm.
and bat mitzvah, right? So that's like technically the age you become an adult.
Yes,
And
that's
we
in
follow
the eyes
this-
of the Lord. Back when the
Yeah,
eyes of the
exactly.
Lord was the rule
Certainly
of law.
not today. The
Yeah,
culture-
not today. Today's a little different. We're a little. We know a little bit more. We know, it's a little different. And again, the life expectancy thing is pretty crazy. But
Not
even
R.
like
Kelly.
to your point, Amici, the Christian church, right? Back when we, like 15, 16-year-olds getting married, that was
Mhm.
pretty common.
Mhm.
Not 15 and 50.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
like 15 and 16 with each other, yeah, that I get it. But they're the same age. But
Mm.
like I said, Muhammad was, I think, in his 50s. He married this girl when she was 7 or 8, and then he waited until she was 10 to consummate the marriage. Like that's
That's pretty crazy.
Well, at
yeah.
least he waited another year, guys.
yeah, he waited. Yeah, he waited past the 9-year-old mark. Like, 8,
Right.
he's too young. 10 is the sweet spot.
The magic number.
Jeez, man.
Crazy.
Like I was
Double
saying,
digits.
R. Kelly would have loved it back then. R. Kelly and P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I just saw P. Diddy had a win in court.
He did.
He did.
Yeah, he had something got thrown out. Some kind of I think he
It
reached
was
out
some
to
journals.
like
It was
a
some
person,
journals.
a witness or something that he was paying off,
Mm.
and that got tossed out.
Oh man.
I heard his journals that they seized from his mansion got like tossed out. They had to be destroyed.
Oh, it was his journal in prison. They tossed his cell
Uh-huh.
and found a journal with and they said that is attorney-client privilege,
Oh.
and that got tossed out. Yes.
Oh,
What-
wow.
What
So
did the
why is
judge
he in
say?
jail writing down his crimes though? That's what I don't
I think
understand.
he's making a list of people he's got to pay off.
Oh, okay.
Videotape
Yeah.
it too. Why would he videotape? Him doing crazy stuff. It's
So
just-
he apparently those videotapes is what he was using to blackmail other high-profile celebrities,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and
he's
I
done
think
them.
that's what the videotapes were all of.
But he was in them too.
Oh yeah, no, he's a freak. Yeah, that's why he's in prison.
Yeah.
Dude, the picture of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mhm.
Have you guys seen that? He's like
Yeah.
in the corner, like
With a
Yeah.
bottle.
Uh,
yeah. He looks like he just got gangbanged, dude. It's so
Well,
messed up.
I mean, but like, look at
Yeah,
Leo, right? I mean, how many jokes have you heard about Leonardo DiCaprio dating well below the normal age? I mean, most of the girls he dates can't even get into a club.
Mm.
Yeah, as soon as they reach, I think it was 25, he would get rid of them.
Yep.
hey, what was the picture you
Whoa.
were talking about of Leonardo DiCaprio?
Just look up Leonardo DiCaprio Diddy picture.
Yeah.
Is it
Like
look,
he's
look,
smiling, man.
Leo
Oh, he having a
DiCaprio
good old
freak
time.
off?
He having a gay old time, man.
Oh, they're all wearing white. It's like all
Yeah, dude, it looks like the freaking like gangbang videos, bro.
Yo, did y'all see the picture of LeBron wearing a French maid dress?
Yeah, apparently that was fake because if
Oh.
you look, he's got titties in it. Someone did a very good job. Yeah, right there.
Hey,
See,
bro, remember on the I think they were on like FaceTime and he goes,
look
yeah,
young
ain't no
in there,
party
too.
like a titty party.
yeah,
LeBron, LeBron James been to some titty parties back in the day, bro.
Mhm.
What do you got? Some Cristal and some what's that? Moet?
Some drugs. He looks.
He looks like he's high. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's
He's
tooted up
zonked.
there.
He had
He's
to
loosening
be.
up.
What's that stuff called? Yeah, what's the stuff called that you that they use to loosen their muscles? It's
I think it's cocaine.
Poppers.
poppers. Yeah.
Poppers. Cocaine. And GHB.
It'll probably help. Yeah.
GHB and lubrication.
Yeah, that's right. Cocaine and baby oil. And I don't know.
That's a Diddy party.
You think what's his name? Macaulay Culkin was involved too at some point.
That
Dude,
doesn't
how-
It's
shock me.
curious.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those child actors, I mean, Bieber was like under
Oh,
his
man.
wing for so long.
And
Mhm.
Usher apparently too.
And Usher,
I don't
same
know how
thing.
true it is, but they were saying Justin Bieber ass was like a playground.
Oh man.
It's so fucked up, man.
I
Whoa.
know, man, it's crazy.
They
He's
said
like
that,
he's like a young girl in Afghanistan.
Right?
remember that song we found? I mean, obviously it was AI generated, but it's the song about Justin Bieber losing himself at a Diddy party.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
He got too old for Diddy, man.
Bro, remember when he mentions on that video where his parents sign custody over to Diddy
Which
for
is
the weekend?
crazy.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah. He's like, what you want to do, Bieber? He's like, let's go find some girls. He's like, man.
That ass is
You
mine.
don't want your yeah.
But the
And then-
crazy part is his parents signed him. Why would you sign your child over
Diddy
for
was
48 hours?
Diddy was
That-
probably
that
thinking,
person-
you fucked up, right? You know you fucked up, right?
That's crazy, man. Talk about horrible parenting.
Well, Bieber, I guess his dad wasn't really around until he got famous. Then he wanted something to do with him. But the
Yeah.
mom, I think, like totally like went off and like did her own thing.
Yeah.
So he was just kind of on his own.
Yeah.
Did you ever
Yeah.
see the documentary, The Quiet on Set, about all the Nickelodeon kids?
Oh,
Corey
yes.
Feldman made that,
I
right?
didn't see it, but I saw the some of the snippets of it. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Corey
Nobody
Feldman
knew it
was
was
saying for
happening.
years. I'm sorry, man. I keep cutting you off.
Who
My
said
fault,
it?
Josh.
What'd you say, Rob? That somebody said
Corey
it for you?
Feldman was saying it for years, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They it was happening for so long and nobody knew. Like under the parents' nose, they had no idea.
Yeah, I have a feeling something was going on, man. You know what I mean?
Apparently Drake's what is it, his mother had
Yeah.
like she was like,
Stupid
there's
bitch.
something off about that dude, but
Yeah, go spend the night because I don't want to drive and pick you up. That was her excuse. Is that she told him to spend the night over his house is because so she didn't have to drive back and forth. Because he was like, yeah, you can spend the night at my house. I'll take care of him while we're shooting. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. So sad.
All the child actors, they're all fucked up. Or Orlando, whatever the fuck his name is, that Corey Feldman guy.
Dude,
Demi
Corey
Moore.
Feldman's in rough shape. That's a shame.
Amanda Bynes lost it years ago.
Yeah, Amanda Bynes.
Amanda
man.
Bynes.
Have you seen a picture of her?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
She's on
She used
TikTok.
to be hot.
I feel so bad.
She used to be so hot, and then now it's like, what the heck is
She
that?
doesn't even
Yeah,
look
she
the
got
same. you know?
tattoos on her face, and
Can you
she,
pull
I
it
just
up
saw,
for me,
I saw her
Josh?
on TikTok. She's
Yeah.
going for her cosmetology certificate. I'm like, what? Amanda Bynes is going for cosmetology?
Oh my god, yeah, that's her, man. Look at
Yeah,
that.
man, it's a
Different,
shame.
man. It really is, man.
Damn.
All because
She
of
got
these
blue eyebrows?
yeah. These crazy people in
That's
Hollywood.
crazy.
Yo, look.
But you know
look
what?
at
I
her,
mean,
Jeez.
you know
Oh, look at her
what could have happened to these people if they didn't hit Hollywood? You know,
Yeah.
like, she could have lived like a normal ass life.
Not like
Mhm.
Rosie O'Donnell.
It's dude, it's just horrible, man. It's like all the drugs. I mean, a bunch of messed up things happened to her. while
Yeah.
she was like filming the Amanda Bynes show and all that stuff. And that's why she like went into drugs. And just like with Drake too.
It's
From
what
Drake and Josh?
I saw. I think it was a picture. I think it was on TikTok,
Drake and
but it
Josh.
was a progression. There was I think it was like 2020. No, it was like 20 I think 17,
Mhm.
and then 2018. 2017 was the pictures you just saw of her, like the normal pictures. 2018 was tattooed face,
Mm.
bloated like crazy. Like, in a 1 year, she just had like a mental breakdown and it just went ballistic.
Yeah,
She
man.
pulled the Britney Spears.
Yeah, big
Mental
time.
health is important.
She's
man.
another one. She was in the industry, very young,
Yeah.
had a lot going on, and I'm
She
sure
wrote
that a
a-
lot of people
she
try to
wrote
take
a book.
advantage, and she just, I don't. It's and that's what I mean. I can't say I blame any of these people. I mean, they're. I can't even imagine what they went through.
Yeah.
Kevin Featherline was her breaking point, man.
Yeah.
Because he took her for her fucking money.
Is that true?
Yeah. He took the kids. So she lost her shit. And then he used that to get the
Featherline.
kids and then hit her up for child support,
Mm.
which happens to men every single day, by the way. Every single day, there's thousands and thousands of men that happens to. And it's no problem. But when it happens to a woman, it's like, hold on a second. Whoa.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
And
That's
that
so
is true.
wrong. K-Fed is so wrong for doing this. Like, bitch. Mm-mm-mm.
Like
K-Fed.
he found
Yeah,
the cheat code, man.
but Britney Spears wasn't wrong for dancing on TikTok with a knife and being Yeah, it's what I mean.
It's crazy, yeah. Oh man.
I
And
think-
especially I don't know how the hell we
It's
ended up on this shit, but
Oh, dude, what?
oh man.
It was all Diddy's fault. We
Yeah,
ran into
it's
Diddy.
Diddy.
That's how we got on this wild track.
I was gonna say, why was she dancing with knives?
she's
She
fucking
was doing some patent self defense stuff. Yeah,
There's like dogs walking around her.
because she lives in California, they wouldn't let them carry at the time, so she's doing this Ginsu thing she's going on.
Would you trust her with a
See that?
firearm?
Dimitri, I pulled it back full circle. Don't worry,
Yeah.
back to self defense.
I like that.
So tell us some drills, Walker.
Bring everybody back.
Well, if you take these two knives, start doing it. It's amazing what you can stop that way.
I
Hey,
think they'll go back to bayonets.
at least we didn't
Yeah,
go to
major
the
threat
top
deterrence.
Well, speaking of the tuck options, there's states that are finally stepping up and not letting transformers and the girls in the I forgot
transmission.
That's become major in
yeah,
Congress.
transmission
Special.
specialist. There we go. Because I think Transformers gets us dinged on YouTube now, so we might get a strike, Josh. No, but they're stepping up, man, and they're banning. It's like you can't use the bathroom. You know what I mean? You got to go.
Yeah.
You get
It's again, everything that was canceled,
mhm.
10 years ago, we're
Mhm.
coming back full circle to. All right, well, we've gone too far to one side. We gotta push back.
Common sense is
went.
in the air.
too far.
Yeah.
So I forgot who it was, but it was this dude that like studied a bunch of stuff about world history, and he basically said that every major empire in history, right before they fell, they got obsessed with gender. Right? So I don't know if it was gender fluid, they, them, like how it is now, but they got obsessed with gender things. And then eventually they fell.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dimitri,
Caesar. Alexander the Great.
Yeah. He started.
All those empires were the same thing.
Mhm.
They got into that whole Sodom and Gomorrah type lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
And when that happens, that's usually when, and that's just it. It turns into exactly what I was saying about the current term.
Mhm.
The soft men create hard times.
Mhm.
When you when you start to see how difficult things are, you will those hard times will create hard men, and so you kind of get that turn back around. That's why they have had so many great empires throughout history, because after every fall, and things get easy, and men get soft, and then things get hard. Well, then men get hard again, and they create good times again. So it's just the way it works. So now we've gone through this whole period where during Trump's first, so Obama, we were heading toward that social parameter of everything needs to be equal, and no matter what, and it's not even about being equal. It's about equity, right? So now we're talking about social equity, racial equity, LGBTQ equity, right? Then you had Trump in. Oh, everyone hated Trump. Mean, he tweets mean, and he's a problem. And COVID happened. Oh, he's the problem. That's COVID happened because he's in office. Okay, then we put in Joe Biden. Joe Biden is in. Everything gets 10 times harder, way harder. However, huge boost for LGBTQ rights and DEI programs, and then we come up to 4 years later, and everyone we are in hard times. So it's created hard men. That's why you saw such a red wave across the U.S. because now we're ready to kickstart this country and get back to work the way that it's supposed to be working. And now we're going to, I think, start creating good times.
Hopefully,
right? So you have Republican, they're all the same, right? So Republican president, Republican Congress, Republican Senate, Republican Supreme Court, excuse me. You're going to start passing laws, adjusting budgets. You have he's creating this whole thing on X that it's going to be on X. It's a full-on transparent congressional audit. Never seen before in our lifetime. It's in the history of our country. It's an amazing thing. So
I'm also looking forward.
I think that you're going to see good times on the horizon. But remember, good times create soft men, and then it'll create hard times. So it's going to revolve in this cycle.
Keep training.
Do you remember that checklist, Dimitri? That you pulled up. What was it for? For communism or something? You remember?
Yeah. I can't remember what it was, but it was on one of the podcasts that we did.
Yeah. So
what I'm looking forward to is what RFK was going to do. I'm really looking
with the
forward
health
to
stuff.
That.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing that too. Considering the last person who was in charge of all the health decisions in our country look like they need a little health. They needed a checkup. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I wanted to touch real quick because this is a two-way podcast. The reciprocity thing that Trump ran on, right? I don't think that's going to happen. And the reason I don't think that's going to happen, right, is the same reason Roe v. Wade got overturned, right? Even though you have Second Amendment rights, the states do have rights too. That's why back when we were in the Wild West, they had towns that was like, all right, there's no guns allowed in this town. They were allowed to say that back then, just like they're allowed to say it now, right? You do have certain rights, and there are certain things that will be able to get pushed through, but I do not think on a federal level they'll be able to make reciprocity happen. It will have to be a lot of lobbying, and I think it will have to be a lot of cooperation between states, but you'll never get it to happen on a federal level. I just don't
To get
see
it blanketed,
happening.
right? To get it blanketed, basically, just make
Yeah,
it.
that's what I mean. You have too many differing opinions throughout the country.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's just like abortion, right? So you have states that are super pro-abortion to a crazy level, and then you have states that are anti-abortion to a crazy level, right?
Mhm.
So that those decisions get made at the state level, and I think now the difference, right? The main difference between your Second Amendment right, which is in the Bill of Rights, it is you have a right to bear arms, versus the abortion issue is that you don't actually have that right.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, they're going to make it. If we vote in Kamala, she's going to make it a right." That she said that she's going to make it a right. She could have, over the past 4 years, at any point, she could have. They could have made this administration could have made a body autonomy amendment. But if they make a body autonomy amendment, they can't push vaccinations.
Mhm.
That's
They
right.
can't do any of that stuff.
That's right.
So that's why they didn't do it.
Excellent
Yeah.
point.
It's a game. It's a game for them.
There's some pretty crazy changes that are about to happen, and they're like you guys were saying about how like the culture is shifting back into this like we're done with
Being
the
more
BS.
conservative.
And like even like you see even the memes, like people are posting these like the memes are sort of leaning
They're starting to
away.
get offensive again.
Yeah, exactly.
And even
It's
President
awesome.
Trump, he said that he's going to they're going to be prosecuting the social media and companies that prevented information from being disseminated during the thing.
I think Facebook and Twitter was it Twitter? Yeah, I think Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram blocked a sitting president
Mhm.
during like how could you possibly do something like that? If you listen, and I understand that the idea, right, is that they had to define whether they were a platform or just a company, right?
Mhm.
However, if you have anything to do with media, you shouldn't be allowed to decide what goes out and what doesn't go out from the president of the United States.
I agree.
That's kind of crazy.
It should be for everybody.
Do you think that's why Mark Zuckerberg ended up apologizing about the whole holding back information? And
Absolutely.
he
Listen,
knows what's coming to the rest of the
as
did.
much
He
as
did.
he's as much as he's you know he wants to curb the First Amendment. He CYA baby. It's a business. He wants to make money. He wants to stay out of jail.
Mhm.
So the apologies came flowing. I wouldn't be shocked if he sells Facebook and retains like a percentage of it. Like I wouldn't be shocked, just taking some residual because he's got a ton of money already, right?
Oh yeah. He's
But
ridiculous.
if he steps to the side and allows someone else to take over, then he's no longer in that limelight.
Mhm. That's what Jeff Bezos did with Amazon.
Yes.
He only makes $70,000 a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
he's just a working class guy. What can I say?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Don't
making
you?
an honest
I mean,
living.
he and I think are in the same tax bracket now. I don't know if you saw, but I have my yacht out in the harbor that takes me to my super yacht out in the international waters.
Then it takes you out. Then
yeah,
you
we
go
can
in outer
helicopter.
space,
I got a
right?
helicopter too. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I heard
But I hope there's more platforms like Rumble. You know what I mean? I hope Rumble gets extremely popular, and that's one of the reasons why we went to Rumble, because I mean,
You just get banned for everything on every platform now. That's
dude, our Instagram, every time there's no guns in the videos. Rob and Kyle from Cock Firearms that we were talking about earlier, they were just talking about 357, and it got dinged, and all of a sudden our page, it can't be sent out to anybody that's not a follower.
See,
You know what
that's
I mean?
ridiculous.
And
That's
they were
insane
just
to me.
talking. They were just talking about it because there's enough people out there that are hitting the report button. You see what I'm saying? That's how everything goes. And then so they're like, "What made you? What was this violating?" And people are like, "Well, they're talking about regulated goods or whatever like that." And then then these trigger words go into the algorithm that anytime they hear them, that's why we started censoring our videos.
Well, you see, I think that's a ridiculous bylaw on any of their platforms, right? Regulated goods. Then you can't ever discuss food.
Yeah.
Right. You can't ever discuss medicine ever
But you can't.
because they're all regulated.
Yeah. If you talk shit about how they tell you to eat fucking Lucky Charms over grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef.
Oh yeah.
Did you
That's
see the
crazy.
Fruit Loop? Did you see the people with the Fruit Loop?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They showed an American bag of Fruit Loops and a Canadian bag of Fruit Loops. One is much darker than the other. I mean, it's staggering. But the Canadian Fruit Loops that they have are made with natural colors. They use juice to stain the reds. They use you know what I mean from berries. That they're not using all these dyes. And I have to say, I truly believe dyes are a major problem, especially in young children. You see with hyperactivity, you create ADD with a lot of these dyes. Over processed foods. I mean,
oh man,
processed to the point where I don't even know how you call them food anymore.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
No, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It doesn't rot.
yeah.
But I hope RFK. I hope everybody that's in with Trump right now, they all stick to their guns and they do what they say that they were going to do, and you know what I mean, and to get this country back to being a lot better.
Yeah.
Especially with our health and food, man, because the crap they do to our food, it's crazy. It's you know what I mean. What they're putting in the water. The glyphosate that they're spraying on everything, it's freaking crazy. The only country that can spray glyphosate on anything is America. There's other countries you can't even use Roundup in your garden.
Yeah.
And it's your garden. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it. And here
you can't even purchase it in the country.
Yeah.
Was that the stuff that that Bill Gates, was that the same thing or is that something else?
No, so that was appealed. Did you ever hear about that? So it's basically like it puts a coating over vegetables and fruits and it keeps them from rotting as fast. Now they're already doing whatever the fuck they're doing to the food to make it last.
They're doing the GMO stuff.
Yeah. But now on top of it, this appeal, it's like it's a coating on the fruit and on the vegetables, and you can't wash it off. So once it's on there, unless you peel the skin off.
Yeah,
so you gotta blanch all of your fruit.
Yeah, basically,
dude,
all your fruit, all your vegetables, like you'd have to get rid of the skin because it just coats it so nothing can get through, and it's like basically kind of like canning it with chemicals or a wax or whatever the fuck it is.
Well, I don't know if you ever saw if you probably Google this. Who do you think owns the most farmland in the U.S.?
China.
Bill Gates.
I think it's Bill Gates.
I thought China did too.
Yeah, they should not be allowed.
I think Bill Gates owns something like 70% of the farmland in this country.
Yeah, he's a smart man.
Yes, he is.
That's a smart.
He's a dangerous man, though.
Yeah, he is. He is because I think he's went so loony in the head because of the money that he has and the problems he doesn't have to worry about, that he's just like, I could do whatever the fuck I want. Let me, I build computers. Let's talk about vaccines.
Yep. Soft men, hard times.
No.
Yeah, and I did also want to bring up when you guys were talking about how
the Fruit Loops
algorithm. Oh yeah, so the Fruit Loops, and then the algorithm. Also, when Dimitri was saying, "Oh yeah, enough people are commenting and saying or complaining about the content," and so they shadow ban. I don't know if you guys have seen, but they have these like they call them these bot farms. And it's just somebody sitting at a desk, and there are tons of phones hooked up to this workstation. And so it's like half of the, like maybe 80% of the people you interact with, like randomly on social media, is just a bot or like some AI dude.
Yep.
Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You see how many phones that is, dude?
I was about to say that, man. That's
Yeah, man.
It's like a wall of phones. But all right, let's end this thing.
You would think by now they would have some kind of a server that would just have a ton of random phone numbers that would be able to call you, or you could just generate all these things through an app or whatever, and rather than having a whole wall of cell phones. But that wall of cell phones is probably whenever they call me, it's probably got that scam likely shit. That's probably what it is.
Yeah,
that's
happening.
exactly where it's come from.
Scam likely.
It's from Israel. That's like the scam capital of the world is Israel.
That doesn't shock me.
Yeah, they had a whole documentary on it.
Yeah, man.
Right.
So wild. Like all the accounts, all the likes, all the views, it's all it's all made up. It's synthetic.
Yeah, I mean,
the internet is a lie.
lot of people pay for that. They'll pay us a certain amount, and then they send them over to their page.
Well, everybody starts signing up with Walker Tactical so that I can start my own cell phone farm. So we can boost our views.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
All right, Walker.
WalkerTactical.com. Check them out. You can also find them on TikTok. You have Instagram, right?
Instagram, yep. I'm on Facebook.
X.
Walker Tactical.
I'm Google official. You can locate me on Google now. And then on the bottom of towards the bottom of my website, I have a merch store.
Oh, merchandise. Here we go.
There you go.
Bow.
Beautiful.
There's 2 new shirts that are going to get added.
That's right. We're going to be dropping them shortly. That's right. We do a 2A Brotherhood collab.
I'm posting the link to the Walker Tactical store for you guys. I'll post it over in X for anybody else, because for some reason it's all separate. I can't comment from Rumble, but they got it.
No.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, guys, check them out.
Yep, and check out our TikTok and our Instagram, 2A Brotherhood _podcast. Go follow us everywhere, especially on Instagram. We're verified on X. Go follow us on there. Same handle. Next year, we're going to have a website. Merch is going to drop, so look forward to that, guys.
Yes,
and Walker,
sir.
thank you for coming on again, man. It's always a great time.
No, thank you guys for inviting me back on. I love coming on. We always have great conversations. I feel like this particular one, we went around the world with solving the world's problems with this podcast.
Yeah, man. We really did.
That's what we try to do here on 2A Brotherhood.
Bring everybody together with guns.
Don't forget to look up on that, see if that barrel can handle that plus P. Don't go taking that to the range.
No, I'm not. Don't worry.
And sending a hot one.
Man.
All right, everybody.
Have metal embedded in my face.
Have a great night, guys. Thank you.
Have a good Thanksgiving. Take care, bro.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Alrighty. See y'all next week. Okay, bye.
Once you get into that, you start getting into a situation, the slippery slope, where all of a sudden you're going to really violate the Second Amendment. I don't want to do anything to violate the Second Amendment. To me, the Second Amendment is very important. I love this country. Thank you. Thank you very much.